Let me first take this question with regards to 13 days into the war. What's the current situation like?
So first of all, thank you very much for having me. And it's a pleasure to be speaking to you and, of course, to your audience. So as you mentioned, 13 days ago now, Hamas terrorists massacred all these Israeli communities. We've seen the pictures. But for us, the Israelis, this kind of tragedy just keeps going on and on. It hasn't yet abated. Just last night, people who were going through a home to clean a home went up into the attic of the home, the second level, and they found the charred, burnt bodies of a mother and her 5-year-old son who had been hiding there from Hamas terrorists. And now we understand what their fate is. So these continued images and these continued pain really is racking through the Jewish people, the people of Israel. As we've said, and as you mentioned, we are going after Hamas. Hamas are the terror organization, really the face of evil, very similar to ISIS. They're a global problem. It happens to be that they're only 2 kilometers from Israel. Our goal is to go into find Hamas leadership wherever they are and destroy them. And when they are destroyed, the lives of the Israelis will be better, the lives of the Gazans will be better, and I believe even people in India and throughout the world, their lives will be safer as well.
Major Doron, let me ask you this question because many are still wondering. Those who are standing in full support of Israel at this point in time, especially here in India, given the fact that you are a victim of terrorism, we too have been a victim of Islamic jihadi terrorism. Hence, I'm asking you this question. You've already given an ultimatum to those who are currently in Gaza, especially innocent civilians, to evacuate, to leave from Gaza. Do you fear that by opening up the borders, there is a possibility that Hamas terrorists could also escape? Because let's make it very clear, no matter the kind of bravado that they are essentially trying to show, the reality is that they too realize what's coming in the next few days. So aren't you opening up the doors for even Hamas terrorists to escape?
I have to thank you for asking that question. I really do, because it's clear that you are reading and understanding the news and understand the military situation. The answer to your question is yes. We are, of course, concerned. Hamas have no problem killing innocent people. They certainly have no problem hiding amongst innocent people and running away. And that's exactly probably what many of them will try to do. And it's a price, an incredibly heavy price that Israel is willing to pay in order to allow Gazan civilians to move out of the way. If it was up to Hamas, not a single Gazan civilian would move. They're already keeping many at gunpoint. If they kill Israeli civilians, they win. If we respond and they push their own civilians in the line of fire and we kill one of their civilians, God forbid, they also win, because then they turn around and cry out to the world. So I am concerned, Israel's concerned, but it's a price we're willing to pay because we care about civilian life.
A lot of us are extremely concerned because this is not a fight just that Israel would be taking up. This is a fight that every right-thinking country would be worried. You're talking about an Islamic jihadi terrorism which affects several other countries too. Hence, I'm asking you this question yet again. Will there be some sort of a pressure with foreign leaders now coming in, talks of a ceasefire taking place, several other concerns, and of course there should be a rule of war. And I believe that right-thinking nations like Israel, India, we do believe in rule of war, but you're dealing with not another nation. You are dealing with a terrorist group. Hence, I'm asking you this question. How exactly are you going to take this forward? Because this time, if it is like a war, what we've seen in the past, the last 5 wars that you've had with Hamas in the last 15 years, then it would be certainly extremely disappointing if you do not take concrete action.
I can tell you that the leadership of this country has positioned itself in a completely different paradigm. This time we have declared war against Hamas. This is not a military operation. We are not preparing right now for a quick aerial raid to go into Gaza and take out targets and come back. Our leadership have instructed us, and our soldiers are being trained to carry out a long-term war. They've said to us, and we think it's true, it's going to take perhaps many weeks, months, in order to achieve the goal of completely eliminating Hamas, who have embedded themselves so deeply in the civilian population, have buried themselves underneath the ground in their terror tunnels, as you mentioned, are going to slip away with civilians to try to regroup. We are in this for the long term. And I can tell you, if I walk around my own neighborhood just outside of Jerusalem, what you see today, it's amazing. Our grandparents, trailed by all of their grandchildren, because the mothers and fathers in their 30s and their 40s, everyone's been recruited. The kids' parents, the kids are now being taken care of by the grandparents. We are here, we're united, and we're focused to achieve the goals that have been laid out before us: destroy Hamas and destroy their capabilities. And that is the way we'll bring peace back to Israel.